Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's RWBY, Volume 7, Chapter 8, Cordially Invited. Jacques has invited the General, and I'm assuming the group as a whole, to his little soiree, and I am wondering if we're going to get a repeat of Volume 4's soiree, where there was a little bit of a scene caused. Ironwood was involved back then as well, but it was mostly to save that one party goer from the boar. You know, Weiss got fed up with how callous and how removed from reality the elite of Atlas were, how self-absorbed they were in their own petty little problems, and she flipped out when one of them callously dismissed the victims of Beacon as, oh, that's their own damn fault for being a weak country. Serves them right, if you ask me. And of course, she flipped her shit. And she got in quite a bit of trouble for it, which left her with no choice but to flee. This time, I don't see this party going smoothly either. I think there's going to be commotion at this party. But now I'm wondering, we've had a gate crash by Tyrion and Watts at what seemed to be Robin's event. So could this mean that this might be the first chance we get to see Cinder and Neo? Could they be going to crash this party in some way? Like, Cinder has her own goal right now. It's taking out RWBY. That's what her focus is right now. She's teamed up with Neo for that express purpose of taking out RWBY. So right now, she's got nothing to do with Salem's plans. So I'm wondering, is Cinder gonna get in the way of Tyrion and Watts? Like, because this would be a really interesting direction for a character if so. Like, Salem's banking on the fact that Cinder will eventually learn her lesson and come crawling back, you know, once she's learned not to be so selfish and, you know, obey my desires above her own. But what if Cinder is going to go in the opposite direction? Because Cinder was always goading her like, you are the girl who wanted more, aren't you? Then try harder. Like, is this going to come back to bite Salem in a way that Cinder will be the one to hinder Watts and Tyrion's plans? Obviously, I don't want spoiling for anyone who comments before I've actually seen the final chapters of this volume, but this is a very entertaining thought that's coming to mind right now. A fun little theory in the back of my head. Like, I might quite like to see that happen, actually. Cinder and Neo doing their own thing somehow throws a wrench into what Watts and Tyrion are doing. Now, that would be something very original if they went that route. But as it is, I have no idea when they're going to get involved. But like I say, if they were to crash this party, it would be a pretty good parallel to how the previous gathering was raided by the other group. But it's just I have trouble figuring out what the motive would be for crashing the dinner party. But we'll have to see. It might not even have anything to do with that. RWBY or Weiss or someone else might make another faux pas or get angry at someone being a bit of a jerk. Maybe Ironwood and Jacques will get a bit too heated because the description for this chapter says that Jacques and Ironwood engage in a dangerous game of wits. So there's going to be a lot of sly political banter back and forth, I think. It's going to be slightly humorous, but also everything very on edge because any comment too far is going to ignite a powder keg, and it's like almost like a fencing match of words. That might be pretty entertaining to see. And the description implies that the kids are here as well. The kids must face their most dangerous threat yet, a high-class dinner party. So it makes me think we're headed for show-stopping drama, like a big scene in the middle of the dance floor, just like Volume 4. But this volume has been surprising me so far, and I'm willing to be surprised. So here we go.
Only my father would turn a hostile takeover into a fluffy PR move.
Yep.
On the news, he said he just wanted to break bread and hash things out. Maybe it won't be so bad. We do want the General to start opening up to these people, right?
Yeah, but on his terms. Ironwood's going to be locked in a room at his rival's own dinner party. I know Jacques says he's happy to moderate, but all that really means is he'll be the one controlling the conversation.
Not hard to imagine how that's gonna play out.
I still can't believe he won. Robin was supposed to be the people's champion, wasn't she? There's just too many coincidences.
You really think your dad might have something to do with Salem?
Well,
I think my father would do whatever it takes to win.
Weiss has the
And we
right
should do the
idea.
same.
She knows her father more than anyone.
Well, no one knows your dad
He's with
better than you.
Watts.
And out of everyone going tonight, I'd say you're the only one who could snoop around the house and not be questioned. If Jacques Schnee's up to something, I think we should know what it is.
Nice. Weiss doing reconnaissance within her own dwellings. I like that. I like that thinking by our glorious leader Ruby. Weiss will not be questioned looking around.
Suppose we should smile for the camera?
Though it has me a
Sir,
little
with all
bit
due
worried of
respect,
what
we
might
have to
happen
pay.
to her if she's found out. Like, we might be heading for some drama that way.
Good evening, everyone.
Not seen you in a while.
Where's Klein?
What an interesting way to say, hello, dear brother, how have you been? I'm afraid you won't find him here. He was let go. I can't imagine why.
Oh, so they knew that he helped her
Exactly
escape.
how large do you think our dining room table is?
I happen to know it's enormous.
I hope we'll see him
but
again
most of my guests
eventually.
will be on standby in case the council requests additional eyewitnesses. Until then, I'm sure they'll be happily celebrating your father's victory.
I still have faith in you, Whitley. Like, you're currently just an indoctrinated product of your father. You have room to change if you
For
get
those of
another
joining us
influence.
in the dining room, please follow me.
Wish us luck.
Because even Weiss
I mean,
said
they
that he
already invited
changed
you,
in her
didn't they?
absence. Because he was more directly involved with the father.
Care for a drink, sir?
No thanks.
Good for you,
I
Crow.
think I'll just stick to patrolling the grounds.
I really love that he's trying hard to stick with this.
Words out of my mouth.
Right, well, don't wander off, don't break anything, and be ready in case the general calls on you.
Hors d'oeuvres?
Let's see them out of house and home.
Counterpoint, how about we do wander off, consider breaking things, and then all that other stuff?
Oh,
I'll be in touch.
by the way, I take that attitude at any party I go to.
Dear sister,
I've got to raid the buffet.
I was hoping we could use this time to catch up.
Oh,
I have to know, why did you go through so much trouble to leave home only to come crawling back?
This might be a problem.
General Ironwood, please.
I love
Have a
the
seat.
dramatic shift in the music.
Councilman Sleet. Councilwoman Camilla.
Okay, so we get to see the other
Councilwoman
council
Hill
members.
would have had a nice ring to it. Though I suppose I should just be grateful I got invited to the table.
Miss Hill, that vigor of yours is precisely why we're grateful to have you with us tonight.
God, hearing that fake
What is she
butteriness
doing here?
in the
what
voice.
we're all doing here, James, addressing the concerns of our kingdom. Which means we have much to discuss.
The voice actor does so
Indeed.
well for Jacques.
I was hoping we could start by...
Are we safe with her here, by the way? I do recall some confusion regarding her involvement in that horrific massacre.
As the official report stated, that footage was doctored. Penny is completely under my control.
Which is concerning.
Yeah, maybe not the best wording.
Concerning?
Let's talk about exactly what it is you control.
Why won't this kid buzz off? We need to do something.
Because he's
What was
a
that
typical
earlier
little
about
brother.
breaking things?
He likes annoying his siblings.
Well, Whitley, I'm sure the company is lucky to have you. But if you'll pardon me...
And where exactly is it that you're going?
Careful! Messy food coming through!
Right, the company has promised me my own parking space.
Care for a drink?
Don't mind if I do.
I'm acting! Oh, you're gonna have to go for a bath. Oh, you are. There you go.
If you'll excuse me.
That was pretty good.
The fact of the matter is, you've operated with a fair amount of autonomy for the past few years, James. But what we need now is for you to work with us.
Sir, I have...
It's obvious that no kingdom intends to declare war on Atlas. We had no involvement in the incident at Haven. We have proof our drones weren't acting on orders at Beacon. At this point,
Winter has
the
had
closure
enough.
of Atlas borders is only serving to hurt our relations with the rest of the world.
The rest of the world? It's hurting us. The people of Atlas are suffering, and they want to know why.
Quite right.
Is he gonna have to tell them about the tower?
I'm afraid there's more than just your choices that have brought harm to our citizens as of late. Have your forces found any additional evidence as to who is slaughtering innocent civilians down in Mantle?
That is an ongoing investigation, the details of which are classified, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of the ever-growing list of classified information you seem to be keeping. I asked
The thing is, from a more reasonable person, these are reasonable things to say.
They know about as much as I do.
Even you don't know?
He just comes
The
off
Emily
as worse
Project will
because of the
help
kind of
with
man
all
he
the
is.
issues you presented. But you have to understand that discretion is a top priority at this time.
Are you saying you don't trust us?
You can't just buy trust like everything else. You have to earn it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh boy, he was waiting for that. He was goading.
General, if I may be blunt, you have spent what little trust this council had left in you. The hacker who turned Atlas drones against us was never captured. Whoever's been murdering your critics is still at large. How are we supposed to give you our trust when you've given us nothing as of late?
That's not what...
Winter. That's enough.
Oh, you see, the things he's saying have merit to them, but at the same time they sting because he's the last person you want to hear this from. It's so frustrating, but it makes it so good. This is a lot more complex than I'd have thought it would be going into the volume.
Is everything okay?
I'm fine, thank you. Keep up the great work.
Oh, is she gonna bump into her mother? Because she's on her own.
Darling.
Timing!
Are you okay?
I can't believe I coincidentally thought of that upon seeing the
I'll be
family
fine.
portrait.
I just let
and
my
she just
emotions
shows
get the
up.
better of me.
I'm proud of
do you
myself.
mean?
You wouldn't understand.
Oh. Right.
No. What I mean is, this place holds a lot of memories for me specifically. I thought I was in control, but you heard me. I sounded like a petulant child.
I thought you sounded fine. You were just speaking from your heart.
And that is precisely the problem. I should have just stayed in line.
I guess you're right. I don't understand.
Oh, because you're such a precious little bean.
I'm sorry I couldn't come down for your party. I'm afraid I'm not feeling well.
Maybe it's because of what you got in your hand.
It's okay, Mom. It's fine.
I'm really proud of myself.
Are you doing in your father's office?
Just looking for something I left.
That's right, you left. You left.
I need to use Father's computer.
Why?
Because I think he may have done something.
something wrong? I thought we all simply assumed that at this point. Yes, well, some of us are trying to do something about it.
Gosh, this is a good parallel to how Ruby must have thought about Uncle Crow.
He started locking his home computer. But he still has blind spots. You put a camera in here? I put them in every room of this house. For our safety, in case I ever need it. You haven't come back to stay, have you?
No.
Good.
She needs saving from herself more than anything.
A man came by.
She's not in a healthy place. She needs to leave this
afraid
place.
your father may be
Or
involved in
she needs
something
to
more dangerous
rightfully
than
become
he
the head of the
realizes.
company. And Jacques needs to go away.
No matter what happens, Weiss, please don't forget about your brother.
Whitley wants nothing to do with me.
Of course not. You left him alone. With us.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The fandom's too harsh on Whitley, calling him Shitley and treating him as bad as his father. That's not how familial things work.
Who are you?
But there is room inside this hurt little boy for reformation. Okay, so what kind of crap are you doing right now? Yeah, I'm that good. I could just turn off the rain.
Hey, Mom! It's snowing!
It took you a while to notice that. Oh. Now... Oh, well, they're in the north, aren't they? Yeah, of course it'd be snowing. I was just thinking, was that related in some significant way to Grim attacks in volumes past? I couldn't quite remember if snow was particularly significant. But I must be thinking of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, where negative feelings towards each other brought the frost of the Wendigos. That's probably what I'm thinking of. But yeah, they're in the north. Of course it'd snow sometimes, but... Okay, this chapter actually breezed by a lot quicker than I thought it would. But it went sort of how I'd expect, but we didn't get that big disturbance in the middle of the party thing. I think that might happen next time, because right now Weiss is doing a snooping, Watts is about to initiate the next phase of whatever he's going to do, and Jacques and Ironwood are... having it out at the table with the rest of the council, and I appreciate that Winter managed to speak her mind for once. I think Weiss is rubbing off on her on that front, but oh, I really appreciated the conversation she had with Penny. Now Penny couldn't understand falling in line, like she believes in always speaking from your heart. Like, that's what makes her such a precious being. But I'm really proud of Winter for saying that at Jock, even though it was exactly what he wanted, because it fed into a counterpoint he then levied at Ironwood. Yes, trust must be earned. What have you done to earn that trust? And I just keep thinking, what have you done? Like, because as Weiss said, you married into this family name. You didn't establish what it is. You've just rode on its coattails and lauded your status over everyone and acted like the Trump of RWBY. You've not really done much. But like I say, but the things he was saying sound in a conversation like good points to make against someone like Ironwood from the perspective of those characters not much in the know. It makes sense to levy that kind of criticism towards him, but at the same time, because we know what kind of man Jock is, we know he has ulterior motives, we know he's a piece of shit, it makes what he's saying hard to swallow, because we don't want him to be right, because not only do we know the full story, but you know, we just don't want him to be right, even though what he's saying are good points, but we would prefer them coming out of the mouth of literally anyone else. Like Robin, for example. But I, like I said before, I'm super proud of myself for calling out that she'd bump into her mother. I just thought, why are we seeing the family portraits? Weiss is wandering around on her own. All of her other family members are occupied right now. Klein's out of the picture, so she can't run into him again. So she's got to run into her mother. And so it proved barely 5 seconds later. That is one of my favourite QuickTime predictions that I've ever done. Because I'm going to put it on the table that I knew that we'd be meeting her mother at some point in the volume. Like, that part probably gave me as much of a clue as anything, but I think based on the quick draw prediction, because I didn't know she would be appearing in this chapter specifically, I still have a right to be proud of myself, I think. Oh my. But obviously this was sort of a part 1 kind of deal to whatever's going to happen in the next chapter. This set things up very well. I enjoyed how Whitley was being a bit shitty at first, like teasing Weiss no matter what, so she couldn't get past, and then Nora toppling the food. Yeah, the fastest way to get someone rich and pompous to flee the scene is to get even a little bit of dirt on their clothes, then gonna rush off to try and wash up. Oh. Yeah, I really enjoyed the parallels between Ruby and Crow and Weiss and her mother, with the disappointed or saddened look when they reach for the bottle. Like, yeah, that's got to be tough. And the pain that was all over her face, like she drinks because there's nothing else she can do to get rid of her regrets. Like, she just drowns her regrets every day, and that is the saddest thing of all. She needs rescuing for the sake of herself, and like I say, she either needs to take over the company with Jacques deposed somehow, or she needs to leave and just leave all of this behind. Like, either way, she needs Jacques out of her life, and she needs to start living again. And I cannot wait for the big moment where she and Weiss are both happy and hugging each other and everything's fine now. But who knows, with how dark Ruby can get sometimes, maybe she's gonna die. I don't know. But yeah, wow. Now, despite this ending seemingly halfway through whatever's going to happen at this dinner, I have run out of time. So I'm going to cut it off at 3 recordings today, and I shall pick things up tomorrow. I don't think I have too much to say about this one, because like I say, it was mostly a part 1. The one thing I forgot to mention scrolling through this is that I really liked how Ruby specifically said to Weiss, say you should do some investigating if you truly think that something's going on with your dad, like, because no one would suspect, you know, anything was amiss with you going around your own mansion. Like, that was some really good leader thinking from Ruby there, something tactical. I really enjoyed that. And I like how in the first place, Weiss was smart enough and knew her father well enough to suspect some foul play in the first place. Like, you know, they were even almost doubting that he could be working with somebody who, you know, very similar to Watts. And But then Weiss was like, no, I wouldn't put anything past him if he wants to win. Like, Weiss has the right idea, and I'm just worried about what might happen to Weiss, or the trouble that she might get into if she sees the information and something or someone comes to confront her. I don't know if it'd be the Aesops, or, you know, because this isn't something she's supposed to be doing, or if it would be Jacques himself coming out of the meeting. Because what I'm thinking is going to tip someone off is the waitress that came past her. She was surprised to see her. Like, what are you doing up here? And she was like, oh, nothing, keep up the good work, and just sent her on her way. But I think she's going to report that she saw Weiss, and that is going to send Jacques or someone else up after her, and I think she's going to get caught red-handed by whoever that waitress talks to. That's what I think. I'm really sad that Klein was blamed and lost his job. I mean, I guess it was kind of obvious based on the way that Jacques screamed his name just before Weiss escaped. Like, he somehow knew. I guess it wasn't a secret in the mansion that those two got along well. So I think they just put two and two together, I think. I really hope this hasn't just been an excuse to not have to address him. That, yeah, well, we're done with that character concept. He's just not coming back. I hope he'll make a cameo at some point in a way that helps Weiss. If anything, the trouble she's about to get into, I think it'd be really cool if Klein got her out of it. Like, I heard you were back in the country, like, and you just came to help. That would be so cool. You know, because it's possible that he could have been alerted to her presence at the Aesop's arrest, like maybe some little bit of word of mouth from people on the street traveled around. You never know. But yeah, I have nothing else to say. Looking forward to the next chapter, I guess, and I shall see you guys next time.